Hey, are you starting a drone business? Hang on, because I've got some important tips for you. Things that can save you a lot of time, money, and probably blood, sweat, and tears as well. These are 7 costly mistakes that a lot of new drone pilots make, and trust me, I've been there. These mistakes can set you back months, thousands of dollars, or make you want to quit before you've even started at all. But don't worry, I am here to help you avoid all of that. Hi, I'm Sarah, and welcome to the channel. Whether you're a hobbyist or a serious drone pilot, someone who's committed to growing a business, you are in the right place. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on valuable tips like this. And let me know in the comments, what is your biggest concern about starting a drone business? Have you already encountered some of these mistakes? I'd love to hear from you. So let's jump in. Mistake number 1, waiting to build your portfolio. When I started my drone journey, I made the mistake of thinking that I needed to already have clients before I could start building my portfolio. And this was a big mistake because here's the truth. You have plenty of fodder out there already. You can ask your friends, family, acquaintances. You can ask a local real estate agent if you can do some practice shots of their properties. There are all kinds of ways that you can actually start building this evidence of your prowess, your superior drone skills, the value that you can bring to the table before you actually have a paying customer. And a few other ideas can be go to parks, forests, or even your backyard and just start capturing cool shots. This is also going to have the benefit of letting you practice the different angles, the different moves that you can make, the zooming in and out and a twirly shot from up above. All the cool things that are really going to make your videos and images more engaging, more compelling, and help the future clients achieve the results that they want. Every hour that you spend in the air, every minute that you spend in the air practicing these things is going to pay off in the long run. So just start capturing shots that help you practice your skills. The more you practice, the better you'll get, and you'll have that much more of a portfolio to start with to attract those clients. Now, one thing to bear in mind is you do need to have your Part 107 before you can use any images commercially. So if you are planning to use this portfolio for growing your client base or promoting your business, make sure you've got that Part 107 first. And if you need help with getting that or studying, then check out my other videos. I've got your back. And just think about it. If you were hiring a drone pilot, you'd want to see their work, right? So don't wait. Start building your portfolio today, and you are going to be ready to launch. You will be hitting the ground running or hitting the air faster. You'll have momentum when you're actually ready to get started, and that's going to make your life a lot easier. And of course, it has the added bonus of growing your confidence before you're out there trying to monetize your skills. Mistake number 2, not knowing your equipment. Let me tell you about my first night shoot. The footage turned out to be really grainy, really blurry. I showed up with no real good idea of how my drone was going to handle the low light. And actually, first property I tried to do, the front door was locked and we didn't have a key. And I had to shoot the property next door, which was kind enough to let us do that. And that's just a reminder to cover all your bases. Make sure you has the key, who's going to be letting you into the property if you're also doing inside shots or FPV, and that you have permission to do the shoot. Otherwise, you're going to get the result of grainy, blurry pictures that are going to be unusable. Best case scenario, you go figure it out and redo it. Worst case scenario, you look kind of dumb, or feel dumb at least, and you're not going to be impressing your client and might not be booking that next job. Now, I don't want you to be afraid now of getting out there and not doing it perfectly, but just know your stuff. Know that you're going in there as prepared as you can be, and that you have all of the tools and resources to produce the actual best work that you can. And you'll iterate on that, you'll improve over time, but just don't go in there blind. So here's the lesson. Know your drone like it's your best friend. Now, know how it operates in different weather conditions. Test it in these different conditions, different light, different settings. Play around with the different filters and whatnot. Push its limits safely so you know what it can do and what it can't do. And don't just rely on auto mode. Learn how to adjust your settings so that you can get the best shots. The more confident that you are with your equipment, the better your images are going to be, the better your output, and the happier and more impressed your clients are going to be. This kind of reminds me of a lesson I almost had when I was 15. My dad told me that before I could get my driver's license, or before I could drive the car with my new driver's license that I was getting when I turned 16, that I was going to have to sit in the car blindfolded and know how to do everything. He said he was going to test me. How do you turn on the radio? How do you turn on your blinker? How to do all these different things? And I think that would have been really valuable because he didn't do that. And I'll tell you what, drove that car. It was a Volvo 940, tealy green color with carpet on the doors and no cup holders. And I drove it for 2 weeks before I noticed a light come on the dashboard. And I realized after consulting the handbook that what I thought was the gas gauge was actually the oil gauge, right? It's kind of embarrassing. So thankfully I didn't quite run out out of gas because the light came on. But it was, I should have known. I should have done a little more research to know which was the oil gauge, which was the gas gauge. So here that I am, almost 30 years later, I can share my wisdom with you of the importance of knowing your equipment and being prepared. Mistake number 3 is treating free clients like they're free clients. When I first started, I did do a few free shoots to build my portfolio. And this is where some people can go really wrong, where they treat free clients like they are free clients. They're not valued. My recommendation is to treat every client like they are paying top dollar. Give them the absolute best experience working with you. You want to be impressing them. Not only is that going to show you the best way to do things, it's going to be building a relationship. And you never know when a free client is going to turn into a paid client. So if you just are coming from a position of wanting to impress them, wanting to deliver the absolute best quality that you can, there's no way you can go wrong. So show up on time, deliver top quality, and communicate professionally. You never know who's going to turn from free to paid, who they might recommend you to, and one free shot could lead to 5 paid ones if you handle it right. So always put your best foot forward and know that your reputation depends on it. This is your chance to build a stellar reputation, one based on delivering wow results. So even if it's free, show up, do your best. Mistake number 4, ignoring your network. This is something that I regret not doing sooner, and that is tapping into my existing network. You might think that friends or family or acquaintances may not be that helpful because they're not in your market. You may not be real estate agents or cell tower people or railroad or construction monitoring gatekeepers. But that's okay because they might know people who are. And a simple conversation or social media post can actually lead to leads from surprising places. I actually had somebody I'm working with do this the other day. He just put up a cool, very professional post highlighting a few things that he's done and asking for those referrals from his network. It was on his personal Facebook page, but that means that everybody who knows, likes, and trusts him is going to be seeing what he's doing. And they're going to know when somebody mentions that they need a drone pilot, that they got a guy who is going to provide exactly that and do it in an amazing way because they already like him. They already know him. There's huge value on building on that know, like, trust of a referral. So you never know who could connect you to potential clients that you never find on your own. So even if they just help you find one client, that's one more than you had yesterday. Don't underestimate the power of your network. It's free and can give your business a huge boost especially when you're just starting out. Mistake number 5, not building a social media presence. When I first started out, I relied pretty heavily on Facebook, but I ignored LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, the other really big ones. Now, Facebook brought me clients, but because I ignored these other platforms, I missed out on a lot of connections. And side note, regularly posting on these different social media platforms has the added value of telling the algorithms. Mostly what I talk about with Leverage Launchpad, which is a platform I've created to help drone pilots quickly launch and grow their drone businesses, is focusing on Google. And so this is a little side note here. Google, if you want to serve up results, exactly what somebody's looking for. So if somebody's searching drone pilot near me, Google wants to serve up drone pilots near them who are active, professional, and really relevant to what they're looking for. And if you have a dead website, you're not optimized your Google My Business profile, and you're not posting on socials, Google's going to say, I wonder if they're active. That's not going to be the best choice to serve up in search results. So just know that even if you're posting and you're not getting much engagement, and it doesn't seem like there's even really any reason to be posting, that's okay. Sometimes the purpose of the post is not to get the engagement, not to get that instant result, but to be building your foundation, to be telling Google, hey, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm an awesome choice to serve up in search results. And the more you can build that consistently, the better off you're going to be as far as showing up in listing results. So know that and let that be a little bit of encouragement to you. And also know that if you do need help with that, Leverage Launchpad has posts that we can automatically put up for you so that you can focus on these other things that are more fun, like finding clients and then doing the work for them. So you're not worrying about all the social media side of things. If that's something you're interested in, there's a link below this video. You can check it out and let me know what you think. But let's get back to our topic. So here's my advice. At least when you're getting started, it's totally fine to just pick one platform and go all in. Show your best shots, write engaging captions, be reaching out to other people, commenting on their posts, your ideal clients, so that you're showing up again as an active business who's engaged. Social media is often the first place that people are looking when they hear about your business. They want to check you out, see if you're legit. So make sure that your profiles shine. And then don't be afraid to expand to other platforms once you're comfortable. And again, once you get that automated, it takes all the stress and pressure off of it. So you can just put things on plug, play, automate, and get back to the rest of your work. Mistake number 6. not knowing local laws or flight regulation areas. If you're going to be showing up to do construction monitoring near an airport, you might get thwarted. So it's really important to do that groundwork, know what regulations are in your area, keep an eye out for different things. Is the president coming into town? Are you going to not be able to fly on a certain day or time because of temporary restrictions or different events going on? The lesson here is simple. Know your rules. Yes, your Part 107 covers all the FAA regulations, but local laws can be just as important. Really just try not to piss people off too. That's always an added bonus. Research the rules for your area before you're scheduling flights, and you're going to make your life a lot easier. And finally, mistake number 7, which is thinking that new gear is going to solve everything. This is a very expensive mistake, and it makes sense, right? You might see a new piece of drone equipment or capability and think, if I had that in my business, I would suddenly grow. My business will take off. But the truth is, no piece of gear can replace skill, experience, connections, networking, prospecting. You got to do that foundational work first. So instead of spending money on every new gadget, focus on getting the most out of what you already have. Learn your drone inside and out. Take some courses to improve your skills. And when you do invest in new equipment, make sure that you're going to get the ROI, that you're not out over your skis with some really fancy thermal drone when you've never even had your first client. You want something that's going to genuinely add value to your business. And finally, a bonus tip. Don't try to do it alone. When I first started, I thought I could figure everything out on my own, and that was a big mistake. It wasn't until I started connecting with other drone pilots who had already established their businesses, had those first clients, learned some of these lessons, when I started to get success. They gave me advice, shared resources, and even sent business my way. So whether it's joining a group, finding a mentor, or taking a course, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you'd like to join my community of drone pilots, there's a link below for my Facebook group. Really great group of entrepreneurs in there who are really there to show up for each other, to help support through the highs and the lows, because that makes it a lot more fun along the way. You'll learn faster, avoid common pitfalls, and build connections that can help your business thrive. Starting a drone business isn't easy, but it's absolutely worth it. When you start with avoiding these 7 costly mistakes, you're going to save yourself a lot of time and stress. So remember, start building your portfolio now. Master your equipment, treat every client like gold, tap into your network, build your online presence, learn the rules, and don't fall into the expensive gear trap, the shiny object syndrome. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss more tips like these. And let me know in the comments. Did any of these surprise you? Have you been through any of them yourself? Is there anything you'd like to add? Everyone here would love to hear your input, and I would too. So please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep flying and keep learning.